Welcome to Binge Theory, the coolest corner on the internet. I'm your humble host, Julian, and with me today, we have Ramon.
Hola.
We have Logan.
Good evening.
We have Kenny and Clara.
Hi.
Excellent. And we have a show for you today. We have fashion, we have food, we have film.
Ooh,
TV.
we're talking food today?
What's that?
So, we're talking food?
Yes, we're talking food, and it goes in
Binge food.
It goes along with the theme of binge, not in an unhealthy way, but just in a abundance of food. You know, it doesn't need to be a clinical diagnosis. Now that being said,
Good food is good, man.
That being said, I did see a trailer, and guys, I wanted to reach out to you right off the bat. Has anybody seen the Don't Look Up trailer?
No.
I did catch that's Leonardo Dicaprio, right?
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
I did catch that one.
Directed by the same people that did The Big Short.
Mm.
I don't like people telling me what to do. What if I want to look up?
There you go. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Exactly. If you want to look up, you look.
Is this a sequel to the 2008 film called Don't Look Down?
Are you serious?
Yeah. And then there's a 1973 film called Don't Look Now.
Next year. Don't look left.
So eventually we're going to have the Don't Look Konami code.
Exactly. So, okay, nobody's seen that. The trailer looks really interesting. It has, a ridiculous cast. Like Logan had said, it had Leonardo DiCaprio. Let me just pull this up real quick because I want to make sure I don't misrepresent
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes, in a horrible red wig.
Horrible.
This must have been before she got pregnant.
What's that? She got pregnant.
Yeah, she's with child.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I know what pregnant means.
Say it again.
I know what pregnant means. I'm just I wasn't saying it like I didn't understand the term. It's just I was surprised. So yes, don't look down because you're pregnant. That's probably what it means. Don't look down at your belly, right?
Oh, no, don't look up.
Oh, is that what it is? Don't look up. Okay. See that? There you go. Okay. Yes. Okay. So check this out. We got Leonardo DiCaprio. We got Ariana Grande, Jennifer Lawrence, Timothée Chalamet, Chris Evans, Lance Norris, Jonah Hill. We also got Himesh Patel, Meryl Streep, Matthew Perry, Kate Blanchett, Kid Cudi, Gina Gershon. We got Tyler Perry, Ron Perlman,
Michael Chiklis.
Yes. Oh, what? Where's he been? Yeah, Michael Chiklis.
Good question.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just everybody seems to
everybody and their brother in
Hang
this
on,
film.
is Kevin Bacon in it?
No, but do you want to play? Do you want
maybe a cameo? Who knows?
Do you want to play a quick 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon with this cast?
I think it'd be too easy.
At that game, but go for it.
I think it would be too easy, wouldn't it?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Well, it would be pretty quick in the sense that let's see. I'll do it real quick. So let's see. Chris Evans. No, that is a little too easy. Let's do Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay. Leonardo DiCaprio was in. Wow, this is there are a lot of them. I'm usually really good at this. I don't want to eat up time. I'll drop it before the end of the show. Trust me, my brain will kick in. I need my third cup of coffee. Anyway, so
only 3.
Well, that's during the show.
Just this evening. That's third after dinner.
Well, we can just warm up with what do you call it? 6 Degrees of Tony Todd.
Yes, there you go. 6 Degrees
I'll
of
be
Tony
good to
Todd.
warm up.
That is a callback because we were talking about Candyman and Tony Todd and all of his wonderful works out there.
I'm surprised he's not in this and Don't Look Up.
But you know what? He may be background character. I mean, I just read the mainliner, so you never know. But anyway, so that is coming out. Quick synopsis. Two low-level astronomers must go on a giant media tour to warn mankind of an approaching comet that will destroy planet Earth. So there you go.
Armageddon Part 2?
Or what was the other one? Deep Impact.
With a much less pretty cast, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Deep
Yes.
Impact.
Yeah, Deep Impact and what was
Armageddon.
Armageddon.
Thank you, Armageddon. What do you think about those when they have movies that are the same premise launched within weeks of each other? You know, whether it's Deep Impact and Armageddon or Tombstone and
Yeah, I feel like that's got to be like one of those bad moves. Like, I think if they had spaced them a little bit further apart, then they both could have had their equal success. But if I'm not mistaken, like Armageddon really dominated compared to Deep Impact.
Oh yeah.
Aerosmith. That's all it was.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about it. I mean, first of all, it's Michael Bay, right? That was Michael Bay that did Armageddon?
Yes,
It was Michael Bay. It was Ben Affleck. It was Bruce Willis at a maybe this side of his career.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
He was fresh out of his Goodwill Hunting days.
It was before he even dated J-Lo the first time.
Right.
Are you talking when you say that? Are you referring to his pre-Daredevil days?
Yes.
Yeah, you're talking.
It would have been right around Ben Affleck.
I think he was, right.
It was
after,
pre, but it was not very much pre, I don't think.
Yeah, it was right after his Mallrats days.
So I would still argue the director's cut of Daredevil is worth watching, but that's just me.
Yes, that is an argument because you will have other opposing sides. Don't get me wrong.
The director's cut, not the theatrical cut.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'd say Daredevil's better than Green Lantern. I would say that.
Oh yes.
yeah, but that's like saying, a cold is better than the
Better
flu.
than the flu.
Yeah.
But not the bottom is not the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Don't look up.
Don't look up.
Yeah. So,
And we're back to the beginning.
yeah, there is a trailer out there. So check it out. We'll leave it in the description below. And Logan, speaking of trailers,
Speaking of trailers,
yes, you came
speaking of catastrophe and asteroids, sort of. Another trailer that was just released was Moonfall. And believe it or not, if you can gather from the title, the moon is falling into the earth.
You still don't want to look up.
Still don't want to look up. Definitely don't look up. So this one is actually directed by Roland Emmerich. Keeping in with his, building in grand scale disaster epics from, Day After Tomorrow, 2021, Independent, or 2012. Sorry, not 2021. That was a different kind of disaster epic. It's a real life disaster epic. Independence Day, Day After Tomorrow, 2012. This one is, we'll call it science fiction, though it definitely leans heavier into the fiction.
Yeah.
I would be interested in a more hard science comparison if some of the scenes in the trailer are actually visually accurate in relation to how close the moon gets to the Earth in some of the trailer scenes. But there's going to be explosions and there's going to be crazy cinematic stuff, and I'm sure if I were willing to go into an IMAX theater and rumbling seats and a 4-story screen, it would be an experience.
I love those immersive ones that
and these kinds of huge, crazy, terrible disaster things like that are pretty wet for it. So Halle Berry and Patrick Wilson are pretty much starring as main kind of cast there. Michael Pena will be in it, Kelly Yu, and Donald Sutherland, just to throw in some air of adulthood into it.
I hate to say it, but for some reason I keep thinking that he's passed. I mean, he's really old.
Donald Sutherland?
Yes. Yeah.
I thought it was dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He died in the Hunger Games.
Maybe I'm just getting confused. I thought he got shot by an arrow or something.
Yeah, to be fair,
He buried.
Oh no, he did not get shot in an arrow. It's the other it's the
Buried.
prime minister that got shot.
Yeah, to be fair, I think it was just his career that died in Hunger Games. So
Okay.
Don't you talk about Hunger Games that way.
Listen, yes, if you want to see Lenny Kravitz go for the gold, check out Hunger Games. Yes, it's the whole thing.
But yeah, no, he is still around, still filming disaster epics, and 86 years old and kicking. But yeah, so Moonfall definitely ties in. If anything, and who is it? I read an article by Kristen Santer, and I think she said it best in that some of the trailer footage really does prove that Emmerich is truly the Michael Bay of sci-fi. So whether that's a bonus or not, I leave that to the viewer to decide.
Well, and I'll say this, Michael Bay, for all the flack he gets about story structure and storytelling, he actually
over the top
does what he does very well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Michael Bay.
Mm-hmm. And for me, that's
oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, that's fine. For me, that's not a bad thing. To compare it to that means that, look, I'm not going to necessarily be getting a deep intellectual epic, and that's fine. I want to be entertained a lot of the times too, and this is going to be a large scale, entertaining type movie with visuals that, probably only a Roland Emmerich or a Michael Bay or a George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, the names who can do those sort of things can actually really do them. And if you're going to watch it done well.
Perfectly stated. Perfectly stated. Yeah, so we'll have to add that to the list, and I definitely want to see it because I like the cast. I like Patrick Wilson. The two films that I remember he really stood out to me in, obviously Watchmen, and the other one he played with what's her name from Titanic? Oh, geez, Kate Winslet. Thank you. Yeah, I think it was. I forget the name of it, but it was a a very small indie film kind of a role, but it was just very well shot, very well acted. Kind of about discontent with suburban quiet living and temptation and stuff like that. So it was interesting.
Well, wasn't Patrick Wilson in Aquaman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the thing too. Yes.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah. And again, we can have an Aquaman discussion on another day. I don't want to get sidetracked, but yes, he was. I think the Sea King. Is that what it was?
Yeah, King Orm, was it?
Yes. Yeah.
I think so.
He was. The king of the sea.
Yeah. Yeah, we can discuss it, but $1 billion is $1 billion.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah. It was profitable, just like Fast and the Furious, just like Transformers. It made money, but yeah, that's. I don't say that's indicative of quality. It's just, hey, you know what? Guess who makes more money, Ruth Chris or McDonald's?
Fair point.
Thank you.
That's right.
All right, Logan, please keep us moving along here.
I will switch genres wholly and completely, though you could argue sci-fi is why I noticed this one. So this is not the kind of movie I would normally watch or would normally even cross my radar if it weren't for the fact that this movie in particular is being directed by actor Fran Kranz, who I know and met on the set of Dollhouse. Joss Whedon's show Dollhouse that ran for 2 seasons on Fox
With
back in...
Yes,
Elijah Dushku was the lead in that. What was that? 2009-ish, I want to say it had to be. But yeah, I got to meet him on the set of Dollhouse when I went to go visit that set. And I just loved his work and the nuance that he brought to the character throughout that show. A lot of the background and ancillary characters in Dollhouse were really, really incredible. Yeah, so this one in particular is interesting. It did have a premiere in Sundance, which apparently has helped generate some of the buzz and Oscar contender type buzz for it. It features, I guess, 4 actors pretty much. Jason Isaacs, Martha Plimpton, Ann Dowd, and Reed Birney, I believe is his name. And it's basically two sets of parents. And the trailer pretty much only shows them in a room around a table having a mediated type kind of discussion. And one of the sets of parents has a child who was killed, and the other set of parents are the parents of the child who killed them in a mass shooting. And yeah,
that one.
and you know, just kind of the conversation and the drama and the processing and how they go about, I guess, working through that. I personally can't fathom how you even begin, but you know, it has a number of just interesting, I don't know, it caught me off guard because, again, it was nothing I would normally find on my radar. But hearing some of the critical acclaim that it's already getting, it's got a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's, you know, his first time in the director's chair, but he's more, you know, some of the people in there, Martha Plimpton in particular is more of a comedic type actor. So I am 110% always willing to watch a comedic actor in a serious role because I've never seen one flub it up. Like some of my favorite Robin Williams movies are some of his more serious ones.
Agreed.
Anytime you throw a comedic actor in a serious role, they elevate it to the next level. So this could be, you know, very interesting. One of those, you know, films you would go see at the indie theater, you know, back when indie theaters were a thing, and they were, you know, going out and seeing. I will look forward to trying to catch it somewhere. I'm sure it'll be out and available just for that kind of Oscar buzz that it's already gotten. But yeah, a little different than normal and worth checking out, I think.
Let me go back to the comedic actors and how they tend to excel in drama.
Yes.
I have a theory, and since this is Binge Theory, it's the perfect place, that when a comedic actor tends to go big and, you know, everything is over the top, it's exaggerated sense of communication, because they're like flexing that muscle like so hard. When they pull it back and it's like tight and understated, it just comes off with so much gravitas. And also, I think if you know their comedic range, the juxtaposition tends to also just make you like, listen, last time I saw this guy, he had suspenders, was sitting on his head saying "Nanu Nanu," and now he's doing Good Will Hunting. And you're just like, that is such a, you know, and Jim Carrey, last time I saw him, he was talking out of his rear end and being birthed by a rhino, and now he's doing, you know, Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind.
Yes. Oh, yes.
That was a really, really great one. I actually also liked was the number 23 with him. I thought
never saw that, but I do remember.
That's a really good one and a good twist in it. What was the one with Robin Williams that you introduced me to, where people like at the funeral, like they see their memories?
I don't remember the name of it.
It's not 1 Hour Photo.
1 Hour Photo was good and creepy, but good.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite of his has to be What Dreams May Come. No question. That one, it gets me every time, and it's just it's one of my, you know, if I were on an island and had a working movie player, that would be on my list of movies. Like,
little trivia, 1 Hour Photo was a Christopher Nolan. No, darn it, it was Insomnia. That
one wasn't. I mean, it was good.
The final
cut. That's if you guys haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen that one. No.
He So the gist of it
is in the future. It's set a little bit further in the future.
I wasn't talking.
Sorry.
The gist of it is that people have a sort of chip in their brain that records everything they see. It records everything they see. And then when they die, there are special cutters who go and take, however many, I don't know what that is, 60, 70, 80 years of life of video and make a short video for their, they call it, I think it actually is a name, but essentially it's like a viewing of this video. It's like a ceremony, sort of like a funeral.
Yep.
But there's way more complications than that I don't know how much I can say without giving too much away.
Yeah. No, I want to see that.
Yeah, I do want to see it too.
He played a serious role, and I think that might be my favorite movie of his.
And I'm sorry, who was in who was
So-
the comedian?
Robin Williams.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, the description of the movie in IMDb, the short description is set in
It's
a
not
world.
better than Clara's.
It isn't, but set in a world with memory recording implants. Alan Hackman, who is Robin Williams, is a cutter, someone with the power of final edit over people's recorded histories. His latest assignment is one that puts him in danger. We won't give away.
Sounds amazing. How did I miss that?
Yeah,
that's
that
A lot of
really
people
good.
missed it because it was well under the radar.
It
Wow.
only got- what was it? It was 6 point something on IMDb, but I actually thought it was really well done. 6.2.
Yeah,
What was it again?
You know
Final
what?
the final
Final
cut.
cut.
I'll tell you what, if we can schedule it, maybe we can do a watch party.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I definitely love that. And just to go back to Logan, your What Dreams May Come.
Yeah.
I dug that. I think it may have been ahead of its production
Yes.
time. You know,
Yes.
you know exactly what I'm saying.
Totally.
The premise was there.
Yep.
But I think technology just wasn't up to.
Oh, a remastered version now would be beautiful.
Yes.
And I think knowing what we know now about Robin Williams, if I rewatch that, I think it would give it new meaning.
Agreed.
There. Well, here's one, and I'm probably the only person that saw this. Robin Williams back in the late '80s was in a film with Jeff Bridges called The Fisher King.
Yeah, mm-mm.
I think
Yeah.
that's
I don't know if I've seen it, but I've heard of that.
Basically, Jeff Bridges plays a radio, like kind of a shock jock, kind of like a cold, callous, disconnected radio DJ, talk jock. And Robin Williams encounters him on the street. And Robin Williams is homeless and looks like he's suffering from some mental issues. And he's acting like he's going on a quest, like something out of Excalibur or King Arthur. He has visions of like a red dragon that haunts him, and he's very troubled. And there's just some scenes that break your heart. And Jeff Bridges is trying to take care of him. And then I'm not going to give it away, but they realize that they have something in common, which makes Jeff Bridges feel, connected to him. And then they, kind of try to, move forward together. And there's other movies that are similar to that, like Rain on Me with Adam Sandler. Speaking of a comedic actor trying to go serious, it was with him and I think Don Cheadle.
May have been.
And he plays a man who I believe survived 9/11 or had somebody who died in 9/11 and kind of shut down. And Don Cheadle was kind of trying to pull him out, back into society. Speaking of, and again, I'm just listing all the, the movies I love the comedic actors have done. Punch Drunk Love.
I did not like that one.
No.
Really?
Not at all.
Who's in that?
It was
Adam Sandler and
I feel like
another Drew Barrymore.
No, this one was without her. It was a British actress, but
Emily Watson.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman was also in a pretty good little
Yes.
ancillary role. And if you go on YouTube and you look at Philip Seymour Hoffman in The Mattresses, it is the most hilarious and unsettling thing. He was like doing some sort of and you could tell it was a very low budget film. And one of the things he was doing, he was like shooting. He was like a mattress guy. He ran a mattress shop, but on the side, he also was kind of a scammer. And they just showed this scene where he was shooting a commercial of mattresses, and it had a car and like maybe 10 mattresses stacked on top of it. And he was on a roof of his building. And then he jumps off onto the mattresses. That was supposed to be the thing. But no, he bounces off the mattresses, plants right on the concrete, and everybody like,
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen that clip.
yeah, it's
Oh,
insane.
Yeah.
It's insane, because it looked like he, probably would have broken something. But
Yeah.
Yeah. He was okay.
What's funny is I feel like we could do like a whole segment on Robin Williams
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
because
You know what? We'll put that on our scheduling for next time. But yes, that being said, let's move off of the
one more. Bill Murray, Lost in Translation.
Bill Murray. Well, yeah, Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's done so many.
That's a perfect example. Bill Murray went right from Ghostbusters, and Lost in Translation was that turn. Yeah, you're right. And then, geez. Well, and then he went into the whole Wes Anderson type of a universe as well.
Yeah, but even Get Low.
I never saw that, but
that was so good.
You got to add it to the list. All right. You know, we will be making a binge list eventually. Trust me. But there's just so much. We got to prioritize. What we'll probably do, good fans out there, good people on the internet, we will put a list, and based on the voting, we will start to organize it in the way that we will see them. So stay tuned, and we'll probably have a place where you can post recommendations. Blah blah blah. All right.
Buddy, anyway. Look for Downton Abbey first.
Yeah. There's a movie called Downton Abbey, but that's a great thing. Let us move on to other things, less fictiony, a little, but nonetheless sciencey.
Yeah, so this one has been kind of percolating for a while behind the scenes here. So I came across an article and a study this is back in 1972. A team of scientists from MIT got together to kind of study and create models of the risks of like civilization collapse. Using just the data they had at the time for however good it was. Basically, I think they predicted that, give or take, maybe, sometime in the beginning part of this century, everything comes crashing down. So I guess is an analyst lead at KPMG, just recently kind of looked at it again and put in contemporary data to kind of go ahead and see. And basically it's like a 30-page paper that was actually a really, really fun read once you kind of made the, chart of all the acronyms that were going back and forth. But basically there are, of all the data that we have going now between production and natural resources and pollution and birth rates and all sorts of different stuff, we're kind of at an inflection point, halfway between either a societal collapse of sorts and a kind of a decline of growth as a marker in at the 2040 range, or we should be collapsing, but major science and technological advancements that we don't know about yet and therefore can't quantify, but have occurred with enough regularity in history to indicate that it's very likely that something would occur between now and then in order to stave off that collapse and decline will happen. So you hear everybody say we're at an inflection point, or we're at a precipice, and if we don't act now, we're either gonna fall off or fly, kind of thing. And most of the time I tend to just chalk it up to journalistic phrasing and yeah, exactly, hyperbole or whatever, and just go, okay, sure. But this actually took the data and quantified it in the data, and basically the two scenarios that were most likely were either what was it that kind of industrial output and the pollution, actually, not necessarily the natural resource decline itself, but the pollution from the natural resource usage and everything will trigger that kind of collapse in population and growth, or that there'll be some sort of scientific advancement that will occur that will be able to maybe not continue our unabashed growth for the past 120 or so years, but at least stave off a decline and settle into a new kind of status quo. So yeah, it's definitely more of the hard science, not as much fiction maybe, but the hard science kind of side of things. And it just was a really, really interesting article. And you see the Roland Emmerich movies, and you see all the different dramatizations of the world going to hell in a handbasket, to use the phrase. And I think with everything we've been through in the past year and a half or more, trying to get a grounded sense of where are we really headed, I know is something that I don't want to say even makes me feel better, because it could be bad, but I'd rather know, as opposed to this whole so much unknown. I tend to grasp for intellectual understanding when I'm in a place of not quite knowing if my footing is stable. And this really provided that. And I thought it was cool, being able to actually quantify the hyperbole into fact.
That's interesting. I kind of also agree with it. I think we're going to be polluting the air and the water to such an extent that, long before we run out of all these precious dinosaur sludge that we've been, setting on fire to stay warm. But you know what? Hey, there'll be a great industry where we can clean up the environment that we've destroyed. So there you go, jobs. Yeah, so let's hope for that.
Some might even call them green jobs. I mean,
yes.
If you want to coin a phrase.
Yeah.
Well, kind of interesting, the premise that you're discussing about putting in the data and stuff like that and creating a model. Have you guys ever seen the movie Margin Call? Gabriel Gray. Basically,
No, I've heard it's really good.
It's really, really good. So basically, it's not about in society collapsing or environment collapsing, but it was done at the time when the whole toxic asset thing was happening, where basically people were buying up houses they can afford, and then everyone's bundling it up, selling it. What was happening is everyone thought was everyone's prospering, everyone's doing okay. Until one person from, I think I forgot what the firm was, started creating a model based on data that he's collecting currently.
This was around the same time The Big Short happened, right?
I think so, pretty much, yeah.
The movies were about the same thing, during the 2008 financial
bubble,
crisis.
Yeah, basically everyone was living their life thinking everything's fine and all that stuff, until one day this guy was building up a model, and he was missing something. It was missing something from the model. They were basically following the same formula that they've been following for years, and everyone thought that everyone was just passing assets back and forth to each other, buying, selling, and all that stuff, until finally Siler, or I call him Siler, Gabriel Gray, comes in. He's a rocket scientist, but he was hired as as sort of what do you call this? He's not an analyst. He was he basically flags anything that goes wrong when it comes to buying and selling and trade and stuff like that. And he was a rocket scientist, so he creates this. He actually punches in what the formula was missing, and found out that apparently the assets that the current company that their company has brought them to the negative, and it had happened, and they weren't even aware about it. Basically, if they were saying, if you don't sell this right now, the loss would be about the same amount as the capital of the company. So what happened was this. So basically, they were the first one to discover this, and so they start selling assets. So they started selling all their assets and stuff to the other companies just to get out of this, so that they don't crash. But basically, what had happened was, this is pretty much how the whole thing started. The whole bubble just started bursting and all that, and it was just kind of funny. But I was thinking, what if you punch in the data? What if we found out that, okay, based on the data was collected about the environment and all that stuff, that we were actually, let's say, put it this way, screwed, but not knowing it. So basically, there's we are actually we were beyond the precipice, but because no one's actually, considered, there's certain things you can't quantify, advancement in science and all that stuff. But what if, for instance, we found a way to actually quantify it and putting it into the formula and found out that we're actually beyond the precipice and we didn't even know it.
Right.
Well,
So,
I mean, if we can't even accurately predict the weather, how are we going to accurately predict the climate? It's I mean, you hear where they're saying, well, yeah, we were saying that if we could have acted, 10 years ago, it would have. There was a clip from Newsroom that was brilliant, and you know what I'm going, Logan.
I do.
Yeah, they were interviewing this climatologist, and I think that's the title, and he's basically saying, okay, so doctor, what can we do to fix, where we're headed? And he goes, oh, you can't. It's done. 10 years ago, maybe, but it's done. It's over. And he goes, okay, well, wait a second. Stop fuel emissions. Don't release fluorocarbons into the air. He goes, yeah, you could do all that 10 years ago. That would have been great. He's like, so you're telling me that no matter what we do, we're done. Yeah, it's over. There's nothing that you can do that will change the trajectory that we're currently on. It's been done for a while, and now we're just waiting for the cataclysmic event to unfold. Yeah,
actually, I highly recommend you watch Margin Call because exactly what you're talking about, and it's exactly the premise of the movie.
Ramon, put it in the list. On our production notes. And I'm sorry, Kenny, you were going to say something?
No, I was just saying my best friend is a research scientist, and that's one of the things that he's actually been just telling me and some of his other colleagues for years is that in like the next 50 to between 50 and 100 years, that is not that we would have like a societal collapse, but we would basically have no more usable resources, like no more natural resources that we could consume to sustain society.
So it'll be like what do you call it? Interstellar, where we just ruin the planet, and then we got to rely on Michael Caine to build a ship to get us all off.
Yes, so
Wally. Didn't Wally live? See, I never saw Wally, but I don't know if I can.
Oh, Julian!
I don't know if I can. I have a problem with
cute animated robots.
Yes, I have in an emotional way. I don't want to see innocent beings in turmoil. That's kind of my thing. So, Toy Story, Wall-E.
Physical or emotional?
Yeah.
Yes.
Either.
Yes.
I think Wall-E will be okay.
I don't think so. I'm
telling you.
So that scene with the claw, that really bothered you?
Not that, but when they were all in an incinerator looking at each other like, wow, we're about to die, that I didn't dig.
What?
I'm learning so much about you, Julian, right now.
Yeah. I mean, did anybody enjoy that? Were they cheering?
What are we talking about?
I was going.
This is a reduce, reuse, cycle.
Yeah, it was Toy Story. You didn't see where they were all trapped in an incinerator, and they were literally about to die, and they looked.
That was what Toy Story 3 or 4. 3.
I didn't like the first one, so I didn't bother with all the subsequent ones.
2 or 3.
See,
I don't know.
So you don't like the first one, and that's a matter of opinion, just opinion. But I don't like Wall-E, and there's something psychologically wrong with me.
Well, how can you not like it? You didn't see it. At least Toy Story, I saw the first one. If I don't like the premise of the first one, I'm not going to watch the following. You didn't even watch the first one, the only one.
Yeah. I mean, Julian, sorry.
Viewers, comment in below and tell Julian that he needs to watch Wall-E.
Yes.
Comment below.
Yes. You can put as many comments as you want there because I have the delete button and I can make all of your conversations. But anyway, enough of this. The one topic about inanimate objects coming to life and then suffering. let's move on beyond that.
The one thing I'll end with this is that Gaia Harrington, who was the author of this kind of newer study for her master's thing, did a presentation at the World Economic Forum in 2020, and one of her suggestions was to start to look at different kind of focuses as opposed to just growth.
Mhm.
You know, we're not going to be able to grow forever, and that if we were to focus on different aspects of development, different aspects of environmental consciousness, or being able to stop. Basically, it sounded like she was saying, stop the more is better, just do more. Can you give me more? Can you make more? Can you buy more? Can you sell more? Can you do more? If we could change that would also help to move the shift or shift kind of the metrics away from just growth as the key metric, and move it to other ones that can make a more longer term beneficial measurement for humanity.
First of all, and again, I'm not a fortune teller or somebody with powers beyond that of mortal man. But even I can see that eventually we're going to have licenses for reproduction, almost like China, where they're literally saying, no, you have one kid and enough. Obviously we're not at that stage yet, but it's in the society in regards to resources. That's
one possibility. And I think that's more of the kind of business as usual possibility, which was kind of her first scenario of, that was just as likely as I forget what the other one was called, but business as usual, where yes, nothing changes. We're just kind of moving along. We have to go ahead and have a change in something. A population change, output change, and expectation change, because things are there's a clear collapse pattern here. Whereas the kind of comprehensive technology scenario, she called it, there's a technology answer to it that, again, happens at regular intervals. We don't know, so we can't really quantify it. But in this case, Elon gets us to Mars. And then
we mess up Mars.
We can mess up Mars, but then we don't have the population crowding. We can go ahead and not have to have those controls on population because we have a second planet to colonize. So that's the kind of understanding there of, and maybe that's more of a farther fetched one, but that I think illustrates the two examples that right now, according to all of the data points and everything that were put into this study, is the point of where we're at. We're either needing to deal with the repercussions of business as usual, or able to innovate or find a technological way to move on and have some next gen leap in technology that allows us to stave off the collapse while still dealing with the new normal.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kenny.
I was just going to say, along similar lines, there's actually a thing going on in China right now where this company, or I don't know, that basically it's a real estate kind of firm that just borrows and builds, but it's called Evergrande. There's quite a large number of news articles about it, where basically they have the equivalent of $300 billion US dollars in debt that they basically can't pay, and their debtors have called to collect. And what I guess some analysts basically have said that that's the equivalent to 2% of China's gross domestic product. So it's large enough that if this company basically defaults, that we could see world markets affected by it. That's one major company. and it's all. But I mean, but it happened because banks in China were allowing them to just continue to borrow and build, but I guess it all stemmed from the biggest thing in China right now is instead of like folks investing in things like the stock market or funds, they're investing in real estate. But the problem is you have like these large urban areas that have boomed in housing growth. No one's living in them.
Yeah, ghost cities.
Yes, you have all these ghost cities. That's right. I forgot I read that term. But yeah, they have all these ghost cities in China where they just have built and built and built, and people have bought them, but they're not living in them because they've all the way they have grown to learn, to invest is real estate is the way to go, because real estate's always going to appreciate. It's never going to depreciate, and that only works if there are people to move in and willing to buy the homes. And so they've created a pretty rough scenario over there.
I have seen some of those ghost towns, and it's creepy because they're like these buildings that were put up and never lived.
They're amazing looking cities. They have literally built cities that no one is living in, and they look like, I mean, just really modern, planned out cities with parks and all kinds of things around them, and just nobody's there.
Something similar like that was going on in Florida.
Yeah,
well, I mean, a lot of, because like the condos that are right on the waterfront.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people had purchased them, but then like during the economic crash back, I think in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s, it was just nobody was buying in real estate after the bubble burst.
Yeah,
and there were just like a ridiculous amount of condos that were completely empty, right on the waterfront. And the only reason I remember this is because, well, first of all, it happened, but one of the things that cracked me up is there was a movie that came out that they shot in one of those condos because it was so cheap just to, shoot a film in a condo. And it was an alien invasion movie. And I forget the name of it. I think it starred not Skeet Ulrich, but somebody like that. Or maybe it was Skeet Ulrich was in it. It was your typical aliens and, young, heroes trying to fight them off. What's Skeet Ulrich? I'm just going to pull it up in the internet right now, see if my recall is as good as I remember.
Your coffee's kicking in.
Yeah. And first of all, guess how old Skeet Ulrich is?
Oh, I don't want to.
Yeah. If you want to
feel, I am.
What's that?
He's older than me.
I don't think that's possible. Yes, he is 51 years old. 51. And yeah, I don't think I've seen him.
Oh, Scream.
Yeah,
That's
Scream.
I remember him from.
Yeah.
In The Craft. I actually saw. So what's crazy is, I had seen him in Scream, but didn't realize that it was the same guy. There's a independent film about the hacker Kevin Mitnick called Takedown. It was a book.
I'm looking at that. Yeah,
based on how they captured him, and he plays Kevin Mitnick in the movie, and I was like, I did not realize it was the same guy from Scream at first, but yeah.
No, he had
51. Wow.
Yeah, 51. That's that. Well, here's another thing. A friend of mine invited me recently to go check out Jane's Addiction up in Pennsylvania in a couple of weeks, and I'm like, sure, I'm all in. Jane's Addiction was one of my favorite bands, still is. Not anything they've created recently, but I'm just holding on to the 3 albums that they did that were quality. And I looked up Perry Farrell, the lead singer, and guess how old he is? Just ballpark. 68 years old. Or maybe it's 62. I'm sorry, 62 years old. Yes. And it just hurts.
The fact that Britney Spears is 39 now? That's still tripping me out.
Yeah. That Catholic schoolgirl outfit doesn't really play as much now, but
Metallica's pushing 60.
Oh yeah. Well, they just celebrated wasn't it the 30th anniversary of the Black Album?
30th or 40th? I don't even know. Right. I pre-ordered it, so we'll just go with that. But yes, like it's nuts.
It's nuts.
I guarantee if Britney puts that Catholic school outfit back on, people will still be just as happy to see it.
Yes.
She posted her body on her Instagram.
That's fair.
Yeah. It's
she do what she likes.
That's right.
You know what? I say there have been a lot of people that have behaved in a lot more erratic ways that have not garnered the concern that she has.
Ozzy Osbourne. He had a national TV show made out of this.
That is true. Yes, he built like a second career off of being completely out of it. Yes, which is kind of sad too. But
but how come he can do it and Britney can't?
Yeah, well, to Logan's point about the decline of society, I think we're all touching on
Jersey Shore.
Yeah. I think we're all. I think mass communication is
where
really
your Asimov quote from earlier comes in.
Yeah,
exactly. And one thing that Logan said, made me remember the iconic line from Agent Smith in The Matrix about something I realized while I was here in The Matrix. You people aren't mammals. Mammals tend to find an equilibrium to their environment, but not humans. They go to a place, use up all the resources, and then move to another place.
Yep.
You know what other characteristic has that same thing?
A virus.
Viruses. You're the virus, and I'm the cure.
That's right.
Thank you. I'll be here all the week. Okay, so
good
stuff. Good stuff.
We'll have to lead that into a Matrix Resurrections trailer.
And again, I may have been a little harsh on Keanu Reeves.
No, you weren't.
Let me put it this way. I did watch some clips of The Matrix, and I do stand by my theory that if you're putting him in a situation in which he's trying to catch up, where he is the eyes of the viewer, if you will, hey, what's the Matrix? I'm discovering what the Matrix is. Hey, I'm trying to be a good cop, and Patrick Swayze, I gotta, always like catching up. Hey, I'm in Transylvania, and Gary Oldman's sucking my blood. He always seems, except for John Wick. And again, if you look at John Wick, he's barely doing anything. It's just a lot of action, which is fine, but that's not acting. It sounds close, but action and acting is not the same thing.
I disagree.
No, I don't know that he's had good words to work with.
Yeah, I disagree. I disagree. I mean, I think that his performance in Bram Stoker's Dracula was,
No, you don't. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Ramon, the professional troll.
Yes. Don't get his hopes up.
Hey, I don't care. I'm a fan of Keanu Reeves.
Oh, 100%.
Again, those two are not real. Those two have nothing to do with each other. I am a fan of his, not his acting. Two different things. I'm
a fan of his films.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, The Matrix Resurrection coming out on HBO Max is why I renewed for the year, because I want to see that. Like, no question, it's worth it.
Here's the thing, and to your point, Logan, where he may not have been given good words. I am a little concerned, and I mentioned this before. because I think one of the Wachowski sisters, is directing this.
Yes, Lana is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I also wrote the first ones.
What's that?
And I'm just concerned that if they continue on their trajectory, because what did they do with that Channing Tatum film?
Jupiter Ascending.
Jupiter Ascending.
Well, Jupiter Ascending is a different problem. They wanted to tell the whole story, but they weren't sure they could get the trilogy. So they packed the trilogy into one movie and then were let down by the editing and the writing and the condensing of 3 movies into one. I thought there were lots of amazing points and aspects of Jupiter Ascending that if they were expanded, that trilogy could have been epic. But the kind of condensing it down and the being able to shove it into the one movie so they actually got to tell the whole story, I think was the issue there. And that may be part of Keanu's issue too, in that for better or for worse, when a writer thinks they know somebody, they write to that person. They don't always write to stretch. They don't always write beyond what the person can do, expecting the person to rise up to it. Because there's the risk there that they can't, and then it's the writer's fault or it's the actor's fault, or there's, so much blame going around. Everybody kind of gets caught in the ensuing fecal storm. So I think part of Keanu's problem there is just that he hasn't been given that stretch writing, those stretch scenes to be able to, maybe fully showcase what he can do. Because by now, everybody knows Keanu Reeves.
Again, Bram Stoker's Dracula. So sorry. I mean, it's like I think that was something that could have stretched his role, but not that much.
Let me put it this way.
So go ahead.
He does have a bit of, and again, it's like here. I'll give you a perfect example. Matthew McConaughey will never be able to shake that Texas accent. So you better find something that actually belongs in.
To your point.
Keanu Reeves has essentially the surfer bra accent. Whether or not that's his intention, that's kind of his affect. You try to get him to do a British accent, you're setting yourself up for failure. So I don't know what. Now who did Dracula? Coppola, right? Yeah.
I know some actors and actresses that have great British accents, though.
Yeah, but they're actually British, Clara.
That they actually do pretty good American accents.
Yeah, but again,
look, if the recent Star Wars is any indication, every Brit can do a good American.
Actually, I do know Frasier, Daphne. She wasn't actually British, and she carried it throughout the whole thing for 9 years. 9 years.
Yeah.
But
You've got Kristen Stewart playing Princess Diana coming up, so we'll see how well that works in reverse. Yeah.
I hate to say it. I've never been a fan. I was never a Twilight fan. And honestly, I wasn't that crazy about her in Panic Room, way back when she was with Jodie Foster's daughter. Way back.
So, yeah.
Kristen Stewart.
Wow.
Yeah, but again, you know what? Anything can happen. And again, I want to say that I like Keanu Reeves as a person, and I'm a fan of his films. But I think he needs to work within his wheelhouse, which is a lot of this and not a lot of this, and then we'll be okay. And again, yes, maybe he's not been given the magic words, the things to say.
Bram Stoker's Dracula was 19 years ago, 20 years ago at this point. That's a long time in acting. Even if you are someone who can't act, which he isn't, he can. In 20 years you can learn something.
Yeah, all I remember is, again, I sent the team a clip on our group chat of
I
him,
saw that.
Yeah, him doing his monologue his doing his monologue about people have been asking me if I'm back, and I really haven't had an answer. But I'm thinking I'm back. And yes, Shakespeare it is not.
No.
But
though his appearance in Much Ado About Nothing, which was Shakespeare, was beautiful. Kenneth Branagh's Much Ado About Nothing.
Kenneth Branagh is a talent. Now
Yes.
his appearance was also good in Possibly Maybe. Oh no, Always Be My Maybe.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, but he was playing himself. So
Hang on, his real life self, or his
he was playing Keanu Reeves. That was his name.
Correct. And it wasn't a stretch in the way that Logan means stretch.
No,
Right.
Stretch.
Yep.
I was
that was a hilarious scene. If anybody wants to, Google that, Keanu Reeves entering the restaurant and
he's playing himself, but I don't see him acting like that in real life. I think that was like an exaggeration of Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
But it's a great, it's a fantastic scene. It's hilarious.
Yeah, he doesn't wear glasses with no frames and wear custom suits by Tom Ford and said, I dropped out of school, went to work, followed my dreams. Yeah, I mean, it was hilarious. And, check that out. That is a great film with him and I think, what's her name? Amy Wong?
Ali Wong.
Ali Wong. Sorry.
And she's a hilarious comedian.
Yes, it is. You know what? Let us move on. This was a great topic. We went from the end of society to the end of film, and I think we covered it. But I want to talk about something Clara had brought up that is, oddly enough, something we've never really touched on, or maybe we have, and I just, I'm getting.
I never thought about it.
Yeah, well, you know what? Everybody enjoys a good old-fashioned eating of food in copious amounts. So, Clara, tell us about this topic you've brought to the forefront today, please.
So I was thinking about, at least for me, I have a ritual. If I'm going to sit in, get snuggled in, ready for a binge, I have to have a very cozy blanket, preferably one by Barefoot Dreams. They're super snuggly. Kenny makes fun of me because I have to arrange my pillows and get comfortable. There's got to be a savory snack, typically popcorn, but I'm open. Sometimes it's chips. And then followed by a sweet snack, right? Usually a gummy bear or something like that. Mm-hmm. But I got to lay this all out. I get my big water cup, it's a thing, right? You got to get the setup before you settle in for the binge. Mm-hmm. So, but I've noticed other people sit in a computer chair and I'm just that doesn't even seem comfortable. How do you binge in a computer chair that for hours? I know we all sit at work in a computer chair for hours, but that's not fun. So it made me think, do more people binge in a computer chair than in a comfy chair?
Gamers.
Well, we need to
gamers.
Let's take a poll. Okay, let's start with Ramon. What is your ritual for binging?
Me? Oh,
yes.
Yeah. I cannot. Okay, so I can. I agree with Claire. I cannot binge. I have to have a big monitor when I'm binging. I have to be relaxed and all that stuff. And I don't necessarily eat and eat. Although when I start binging, it's I gotta prepare. The whole day's gonna just disappear. I know that's gonna be a fact. Downton Abbey was an example. But yeah. Yeah, so I actually don't have a ritual, but I do. I know I cannot binge on an iPad. I cannot binge on computer screens. I have to I have to have a big monitor in front of me in order for me to just sit down and enjoy binging. And I love binging with my wife, because of the fact that a lot of times she actually she's not a huge science fiction fan, but usually when I start binging, she binges with me. Mm-hmm. And she, and it's kind of fun because she's not into science fiction, but when we binge, she gets into it. And yeah, so that's I don't have a ritual per se, but that I do I do want to be comfortable, and I do want to be in front of a big TV screen when I'm binging.
Big TV screen and wife. That's your ritual.
Yes.
There you go.
Because basically, I can't. I start on something and I just lose interest until because basically it's like like it's so funny because whenever my wife and I bench, like we kind of interrupt each other in the middle. We pause and well, why did we do this? Why and all that stuff. And we sometimes bug each other, but we still, at the end of the day, we still enjoy watching, and we Google a lot, by the way, because especially with this, when we're binging Downton Abbey, we're going like, I have to Google some of the, Machiavelli. What the heck does that mean? Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's the funny thing. Is like the first thing I heard is like I paused. They mentioned the Machiavelli, and then my wife paused it, and I knew what she was going to do. It was like, "Hey Siri, what's Machiavelli?"
Yeah.
So,
the Don Illuminati.
I'm not asking you.
We should just have like an extra square with Siri on it, and is that Siri or Alexa?
As soon as Apple or Amazon sponsor us, we're good to go.
Exactly. Yes.
Jeopardy. What was it? IBM. IBM's Watson. That's who we need.
IBM can throw us money too. That's fine.
Yeah. We should should put them all on and have it like a trivia contest.
Cortana. I'm sorry to say, Cortana freaks the heck out of me. I don't want to.
Yeah. Logan.
Yes.
So I think I'm going to break it down into the intentional and the unintentional binge. And I think that's the difference for me as to where I end up and how and in what scenario. So intentionally, it's usually in the living room. We have a slightly larger TV, but it's still, it's a normal high definition. We'll get, whether it's a tea or an adult beverage or whatever. We're normally kind of sweetsy, ice cream type people at my wife and I. So we'll kind of stock up on the things that we want. And me in particular, I find that I like to bring everything that I think I might want, but I don't always eat it all. So it's like I'll bring an ice cream, which it's going to melt. So that's usually what I'm going to have. But maybe I want, a popcorn chip or popcorn or Girl Scout cookies or who knows what. But oftentimes I'll leave it there untouched. And just the fact that I don't have to get up and get it is enough for me that it's fine that it's there. My wife definitely has a much better ability to basically call it and say, I'm going to sleep than I do. And then I'll normally just switch to something else that I was in the middle of myself and continue on that way. Though, as far as kind of the computer chair and in the office, I think that's where those unintentional binges come in that I have a 4K monitor for my computer. So it's, the picture's comparable, but it's a little bit nicer of a picture. And if I click on something or watch something, I can kind of get sucked into it in a way. And then all of a sudden it's, 2 or 3 in the morning and it's like, well, great. I have to get up in 3 hours. This is fabulous. and I've unintentionally kind of, been in that scenario doing that. So it usually falls in those two categories for me.
No, that's well, and I can bear witness as to him being on watching a Mandalorian. Oh no, Loki episode when we were doing the 3 a.m. Insomnia series, and that was quite an endeavor.
It was.
We did it, and
you did them all. I only did half.
Yeah, well, it's that and a nice. I'd say with a lack of, personal life and copious amounts of coffee, you can do almost anything. Yeah.
So is that how you binge?
Here's the funny thing, and I'm going to go kind of with what Logan. with what Logan said. Well, yes, coffee coffee goes with everything. Coffee goes with,
Yeah.
But to be fair, I have two types of binges. There are some shows that I need to completely lock in on. For example, I've just recently started watching Billions again because Billions is back out on Showtime, and the dialogue is so crisp and sharp and specific. You can't just like half listen because they're talking about executions on stocks and predictive modeling and a lot of things that you have to actually get it because there's a lot of reveals down the line. But then I'll watch other things that are more just entertaining, and I can do that I have like a standing treadmill desk where I'll just be kind of working, but also have it playing on my iMac. But my favorite way to binge, and it's not binge in the conventional sense where you're doing a lot, back to back to back, but just what I consider an obsessive amount of doing it is I'm such a cinephile. I love going to the Alamo or going to there's also some indie films up in the DC area that are part of the Landmark theater chain.
Yep.
And it's one of those kind of artisanal bourgeoisie theaters where everything is like way overpriced and they have custom concessions, and
they were doing alcohol in concessions long before the mainstream theaters were.
No, absolutely. And again, the thing, it was always the experience.
Yep.
The Alamo, I would go there, and for those who haven't been to the Alamo, they serve typical Americana food. So you can go there and order a pizza and order a hamburger and fries and all of that, and they have waiting staff that will come out to you. And you just put up like a tag, you put this in front of your chair, and they'll come by, read, what you've written on it, and bring you an order. So it's just a great setup.
They surprisingly have a great Earl Grey tea. I know you wouldn't expect it, but it's actually very good.
You know what else they do that I love is a lot of times they will have a temporary item on their menu based on the movie.
Yeah. Like
if they're doing like a Downton Abbey, watch party kind of a thing in the theater, they will have like Earl Grey or blood pudding or fish and chips or whatever they eat over there. It all sounds depressing.
I do miss the Alamo.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, trust me, I've been going, but
Yes.
Again, the matinees, double vaxxed, and I'm so isolated anyway. It's not, it's if I were to get a breakthrough, I come right back here, and I don't see anybody for 2 weeks anyway, so it's fine. But yes, be safe.
Lord of the Rings marathon at Alamo.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, they did this years ago.
So they didn't do all three movies in one day. It was each Tuesday, right?
I thought.
Yeah, no, it was like on a Tuesday.
It
was random. It was like a random day of the week, and they just did 3 weeks in a row.
The extended version.
So they did an intermission like in the middle of it,
and
that I didn't realize we had watched them at home multiple times, but.
On the big
seeing
screen.
it in a theater, but I'm not gonna lie, sitting in those chairs for 4 hours.
Yeah, they weren't as comfortable.
After the intermission, I was just like, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But we're getting through this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a movie fan, but I don't know if I can do. Well, no, that's not true. I did do a double feature at the Alamo. Had a great time. It was hosted by Patton Oswalt, and the first movie was a blaxploitation film called Bad Mothers. No, called Mother. It was just Mothers. Mothers with a U.
With a U, of course.
Because you got to be hip. And it was just the epitome of a horrible film. But it was so bad, it was actually good. I mean, it was shot like in the, I think it was like either Thailand or the Philippines. And they were basically pirates. I mean, Quentin Tarantino, I'm sure Quentin Tarantino saw this many a times. Because these foxy sisters with the afros and the tie knot midriff showing t-shirt dress. It was schlocky like beyond belief, and we saw that in all of its horrible no fight choreographed splendor, and D-list special effects. And then Patton Oswalt would say, he would comment through the whole movie with a microphone, through the PA. And then afterwards, he did like a little, crowd work where he's talking to the audience. Then the piece de resistance, Mad Max, the first one, undubbed, full Australian accent, and if anybody knows, Patton Oswalt is not a Mel Gibson fan. Patton Oswalt has many things that he said about Mel Gibson on social.
Hey,
cool. Well, what's hilarious is he acknowledged that. He said, "Listen, I can't stand the man. I hate his politics. I hate what he said and done. But look at that face." Because he's like, this is baby fat Mel. This is Mel with, before Foster's got the hooks into him. I mean, he's like smooth. I mean, look at him. And again, don't get me wrong. I think I spoke about this before with Logan. I had to come to terms with my initial boycott of Mel Gibson because I had films that I had appreciated growing up that he was in. But when you have a conflict like that, are you supposed to just remove that entire part of your movie-going experience? Your because it was like a cornerstone of a decade. I mean, Mad Max, Road Warrior, Thunderdome, Braveheart, Lethal Weapon 1, 2, not 3, and you just
or 4.
Stop counting.
I'm not gonna lie. I like 4 just because I'm a Jet Li fan.
Yeah, no,
Jet Li is awesome. Yeah, he's the best part of it.
Yes. But and that's also it was funny is Murtaugh was too old for this crap in the first one
when it started. Yeah.
But anyway, so I like to binge. Long story short, I'll binge in my basement on my couch watching. I have an old school retro tube TV, the ones the ones like a big cabinet. It's like I think 62 inch.
Yeah.
But it's because I rarely use it, so it's still good. It works fine.
HD.
What's that?
HD.
Oh no. I don't think HD existed back then. It's
like 480p.
You're literally watching it in standard definition.
Yep.
Yes, it's retro. Wow. I got the AB button that I click on it to make it go from.
Has your opinion of Julian changed now?
What's that?
I don't know. I mean, it depends what he's watching there, but that's some commitment to original theatrical.
Do they have like hot tubes and stuff like that?
When you turn it on, it goes boom.
Has to warm up.
Where do you get the film for it?
Well, no. Here's what I'm trying to say is I have the big TV in the basement where I'll just sit down and I'll put my laptop and kind of watch stuff, but it's like just action stuff that I can let wash over me, or I'll have my treadmill on the middle level of my place, and that's where I have like obviously a high retina visibility iMac. But my bedroom is where I tend to just kick back, put the pillows up behind and just watch, that's where I watch Billions and the ones that
where you really binge.
Yeah, yes, I do binge in when in the MTV Cribs where they go to the restroom and the guy says, "Yeah, this is where the magic happens." Well, yeah, when I go there, I say, "Yeah, this is where the binging happens," and there you go. So good stuff. Oh, Kenny, what do you binge, or do you just do what Clara tells you to do?
There you go.
I wish. He doesn't do what I tell him to, unfortunately.
Well, yes, I do.
You're with somebody you love.
We're men. We're meant to like annoy our spouses.
Yes.
I don't think that's just the purpose. That wasn't in our vows anywhere.
It was.
Anyways. He binges on mostly, I think, your laptop or iPad.
iPad? That's
no.
No, I just tend to watch a lot of stuff on it, but I don't. No, I can't sit. I don't sit and watch
Okay,
for
so
hours. I will say so. A couple of different types of binging, I guess. So for Formula One, I've had to watch Formula One
see,
on the
this is how you
iPad
know he doesn't do what I tell him to, because I wouldn't tell him to watch Formula One.
because they don't. Formula One hasn't come out with an actual TV app.
So that's on your iPad.
And I watch YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube on my iPad.
Hmm.
But for like movies or TV shows, it's either on the couch.
In my couch. Let me
Yeah.
preface this, okay?
Oh,
In our living room, when we redid our living room, he asked for leather chairs. I have over there 2 leather chairs.
I wanted a dad chair. I did not get dad chairs.
You
I got leather chairs.
You wanted
but
a
not-
leather recliner. Anyways, I wanted a couch. I bought a couch. I got a couch for me. It's very fancy. It's from IKEA. Okay. I got a baby and a toddler. They spill all the time. But this is mommy's couch. And he sits on it.
oh.
But yeah,
Oh.
so binging, I mean, similar routine to Claire. Like, the difference I think is I tend to do more like Logan,
Mhm.
where I go and get all the snacks that I think I might want.
Yep.
And I like bring them into the living room.
And it often starts with ice cream, like Logan.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, that is true.
You know what? I've gotten in on the recent. You know how you get in like in these cycles where you just start eating the same thing.
Yep.
I've started eating, and again, it sounds bizarre, cottage cheese with chunks of pineapple.
Ooh.
I've heard that's great. Or peaches. I've heard people do too.
Peaches.
Oh, yeah. I
Well,
love it just with cinnamon and sugar.
That's something.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Well,
but
here's-
peaches
here's
is
a-
wonderful too.
The reason why I got into it is because in the giant supermarket, they have like ready to go like a tub of giant brand,
Mhm.
you know, not the size, the brand, giant brand cottage cheese with pre-cut pineapple slices in there. So you literally just rip it open and you're
Right.
eating.
Mhm.
You don't no preparation, which I love because I'm an automatic man in an automatic world. You know, and you know it took the place of ice cream, which I desperately needed. So you know,
You traded
it's
sugar for
sweet.
sodium. Got it.
Yes, yes, yes,
There's
that-
Sugar and sodium.
yes,
You guys
yeah,
get protein. Good job.
yes, yes. It's well, you know, you can either have Ben and Jerry's or you know
Or giant.
Actually, the
Logan, Logan,
I found for me that was really good. Was it Turkey Hill? I remember you got it at Wegmans, and
It's all
It's-
natural.
it's
That's why he
all
likes
right,
it.
but it's like there's 5. It's only like actually no, it's only 5 ingredients, is it? It's like
So what was so great was I found an ice cream that is actually ice cream and not some processed manufactured
Mhm.
stuff.
Ben and Jerry's is,
Theirs is fine, but that's not what you were always getting.
but Ben and Jerry's is just, I mean, it's Ben and Jerry's. Like, if you binge too much Ben and Jerry's, like you're
Yeah.
gonna pay the price.
I tend to go more the enlightened keto, low sugar, low carb kind of ones, just because too much sugar is just not a good plan.
I had that keto ice cream,
Yeah,
and that's not ice cream.
But yeah,
they are getting better. Though I actually make my own with
Ooh.
heavy cream and coconut coffee creamer unsweetened, and
Ooh.
that's actually really nice too.
In that recipe.
Yes, post that on the
It's
internet.
just it's the normal recipe from the Cuisinart, the typical Cuisinart ice cream maker. It's literally I think 2 cups of heavy cream is what I do. 1 cup of heavy cream, 2 cups of the coconut unsweetened creamer, 3/4 of a cup or so of some sort of a natural sugar, whether it's stevia based or whether it's monk fruit based, but something like that. And then whatever I want to go ahead and add in. Usually some vanilla, and then maybe I'll do 3 or 4 ounces of schnapps if I want a peach ice cream, or vanilla vodka if I want a little bit more of a vanilla flavor, or
the Lily's chocolate Do you eat that? The Lily's brand?
Yeah. Sprinkle some of the chocolate chips in kind of at the end once it gets a little bit thicker, so it actually kind of gets through and doesn't all just sink to the bottom.
Mint schnapps and the Lily's chocolate.
I'll just do. I won't even do the schnapps. I'll just do the actual like mint. Who is it? The McCormick. Just mint extract.
Ooh.
So I've got a mint extract, a raspberry, a strawberry, a watermelon, like all the different ones. Coconut, banana. You can have like banana, coconut.
Then.
Yes.
You know what?
You just drop the extract in, and you've got all the flavors, and you make your own ice cream, and you literally know all of your ingredients, and it's a little bit cheaper than buying some of the other stuff.
We need
I
to
literally gained 5 pounds just listening.
Exactly. But I'll tell you what. I love it. Let us have a ice cream watch party.
Yes.
Logan makes ice cream.
Well, we can all bring our different
I'm
brands.
sure there's a Patreon tier for that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. That's
about watching
that
a
could be whole
movie.
nother
Julian
show.
Clara is suggesting the watch party be us watching Logan make ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. That can be that. Trust me. That is the thing.
Binge Theory cooking show. Sure.
Food Network,
And he's gonna
I feel like a voyeur.
What's funny
look at
is
that measuring cup he's using. Oh, that's a good measuring cup.
Is that Pepper Chef?
Safeway Essentials.
yeah.
I don't think I can do that. I feel so much like a voyeur.
Well, Ramon, you're not wrong
Look,
because I'm sure
if you're not at the $100 Patreon tier, I won't hand deliver the ice cream container to your house.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Yeah, but in this day and age, exactly what Clara was saying, but just with a different inflection, and you have a whole different show. Ooh, what kind of cup is that? What's he using? Ooh, is that mint? Ooh, yes.
Why is he stirring so slow?
Exactly. Stir slow. Stir faster.
Binge Theory OnlyFans. Check it out.
Are we like? Is this like binge after dark or something? Or?
Binge Theory OnlyFans. That's
Yep.
yes.
So when you really need your ice cream churned.
Yes. Oh.
I said 4 bingers, 1 cup.
No.
No. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. No. I think we're going down a bad path. Let us.
Binge Theory lowered backs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lord.
Let us.
No
go
Binge
on
Theory
to-
goat ice cream. Just so you know.
Yes. Let us shift gears here and go to something
Please.
a little more a little more entertainment and a little less, lascivious. Ramon,
Are we?
what is going on the Netflix?
Oh, okay. I thought we were gonna do Downton Abbey.
We're all waiting for the Downton Abbey. Come on.
I am waiting for the Downton Abbey. Oh, all right.
Build
I'll
up,
do this.
people. The build up. Saving it
Yeah.
for
I'll do
last.
this quick because
It's perfect.
If anybody wasn't aware, we're going to be talking about Downton Abbey in a little bit. Okay, so that
All
is
right.
going to happen.
well,
Yes.
then I'll make this like 5 minutes then, so that we can
Okay.
spend.
We're already
No, but,
28 over, so don't waste any minutes on us.
It's true. So Trese, actually, so I actually heard about it from my wife's niece that basically told me there's an anime out there that's. I don't think it was made. Well, I'm not sure if it was made by Filipinos, but it's all about Filipino. It's the first Filipino anime that well, no, not really. The first Filipino anime that's like gotten us to the level of like Netflix and stuff. I've watched Filipino animes before when I was growing up, and none of them holds apart to this one. And basically, the anime, I would say that this is not for kids. There's a lot of gore, there's a lot of blood and stuff like that. But it basically is all about. It's not just about Filipino culture. It's about Filipino monsters. Believe it or not, we do have our own sets of monsters.
I think
Yeah,
every
and,
Asian culture has their own monsters.
Huh?
I think almost every Asian culture has their own monsters.
Oh yeah. Well, the funny thing is about this one is like I was a little worried because our monsters are a little weird. Like I try to explain some of our monsters to some of our friends, and like that. Well, give me an example of a monster. Well, a tikbalang. Oh, what's a tikbalang? Oh, that's a half man, half horse. Oh, you mean like a centaur? No, the head is a horse. The rest of the body is human.
So an opposite centaur.
And they would go like, "That's not scary. That's actually kind of funny." It's like, okay. All right, let me give you another example. Tianak. Well, what's a tianak? And they would go like, "Well, what's a tianak?" Well, they'll go like, "A tianak. It's like a monster, only it's a baby." Again, so you know what? I was kind of worried because every time I try to explain Filipino monsters to people who are non-Filipino, it just it's just like I don't get it. So I was a little worried about this, but it was well done. I would say that for the most part, if you're Filipino, you probably enjoy this on a different level as someone who's not Filipino, because a lot of the stuff that they're showing are actually ingrained in our culture. We grew up with this stuff, like Nunut sa Punso, where basically when you see an ant hill, you have to say tabi tabi po, which means I'm just gonna pass by, because you don't want to offend the elves that are living in that mound. So, and all that element is in this anime, Trese. And the good thing is also they kind of also featured a little bit of Filipino martial arts, the Cali Arnis type of martial art, although the martial arts that they pretty much showed was not that. It didn't really showcase the martial art, the Filipino martial art as well. But it was a 6-part anime episode. It was really well made, and it kind of made me feel nostalgic, because aside from the monsters like tearing people's head off, I got to see a lot of places. They actually featured a lot of places in the Philippines in the movie, or at least the anime version of the places, some of the places in the Philippines. But it's basically very interesting. I don't know if you there used to be a 90s show where basically it's almost like Men in Black, only they deal with ghosts and goblins and little creatures and stuff like that. And basically it's like an agency that basically deals with like underground monster gangster type people, and then they work with gnomes and stuff. I completely forgot. I gotta look up that series, but it's pretty much the same with Trese.
Is it Troll Hunter? Is it Troll Hunter?
No, it's not Troll Hunter. It's a series. I gotta look. It's like something. It's a letter and a number, I think.
Gotcha.
But I gotta look it up. But anyway, so the premise of the story is, without giving too much detail, the premise of the story is like this person who's this woman. It's a woman. The hero is a heroine. Her name's Trese. And she basically is like the peacekeeper between humans and the supernatural world. And there's a truce between the two. And now for some reason, the truce is slowly eroding. And she's called in by the police to do to take care of all the supernatural crimes, without giving too much away. But it's good. It's really good. But I would say that if you were a non-Filipino, you probably still enjoy it. But I think on a deeper level, Filipinos who grew up with these types of, it's like Jollibee basically. No one understands sweet spaghetti, but we do. But a lot of Americans enjoy it. So
about Spirited Away, like I enjoy Spirited Away immensely, but I feel like there's a cultural layer to it that I'm not getting when I watch it. So I imagine it's probably akin to that.
It's basically, because what do you call this? You can still enjoy it, but I don't. I think one of the things is there's a secondary layer that, unless you actually grew up in the Philippines and grew up with this type of stuff, you probably will enjoy it a little bit more. Plus the fact that hey, this is the first Filipino anime that's really doing well.
That's really exciting. We'll have to watch that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm definitely locked in. Now, do they do subbed and dubbed or just subbed?
Actually, it's in English.
Oh, okay. Because I'm looking at like an image here.
Well, it's in English, but they're trying to do a very poor Filipino accent. So their accent is more South American than Filipino. But yeah,
So they probably got some British people doing the voices. That's why.
I mean, you know what they say. It's Filipino if you mix the F and the P's. Well, that's perfect. So
I'm looking at it, and yeah, the
lead actor is Canadian.
yes, lead actress Canadian for the English.
But then Filipino voice actors? Come on now.
The Filipino voice actor is actually another. The other reason why I enjoy it, because I'm a fan of Liza Soberano, which is actually the one who does the voice of the Filipino.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, these are just 30-minute episodes, and there's only 6 of them. I will do watch parties for them, and we will build a nice little catalog. And because I'm locked in. I love the way you're describing it, and the synopsis of it saying it's set in Manila, where mythical creatures of the Philippine folklore are in hiding amongst humans. I mean, it sounds like a familiar storyline, but I want to see the Filipino take on it, and and like you're saying, the different characters that are in it. Yeah, it's all ghost hunter stuff, or.
Yeah, it's more like it's deeper than Ghost Hunter. More like it's a So basically, the ghosts aren't the. There's something that's there's a malevolent force in between the two cultures. Let's say humans and the supernatural, and there's a malevolent force kind of working to destroy.
Ooh, the newer Legend of Korra. The newer Avatar series.
But it reminds me of Inuyasha. Kind of like, where there's there's a balance, like there's demons and there's people, but all of a sudden the shards of the crystal start making the demons go a little wonky, and then they start going a little crazy. Anyway, I want to give this its own, viewing without tainting it with Japanese folklore. So no, excellent stuff. We got to see it. It will be on the list, and we'll be scheduling it. So stay tuned, you viewers out there. Now, want to do 2 last things. This is something that I was witnessing, and the internet went crazy about. So I wanted to just quick show some visuals as well, because this was at the 2021 Met Gala. And I've seen some outfits, and I've seen some outfits. So let's take a little peek at the 2021 Met Gala dresses and outfits and what have you.
We have some men's outfits in here too, right?
What's that?
We have some men's outfits in here too, right?
Yeah. It's all that. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see here. Okay. All right. So this is. Let me see who that. Oh, that's probably just the lead one. No. Ella Emhoff wearing Stella McCartney. There you go. Yes or no? I feel like I'm Joan Rivers on the red carpet. What do we think of this?
Cool cosplay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not. Oh, sorry.
It's a lot of red.
It's a lot of red. Yeah, I was going to say it's a lot of red.
Timothy Chalamet.
That's a lot of white. White people should wear with white.
He looks like an 80s.
Ruins it with the shoes, though. No, thank you. Like at least they should be brand new and white.
Yeah, those are awful.
Like dirty.
Like Converse couldn't hook him up with some new white.
Yeah, it's like his whole outfit is white, and then his shoes are from Arrakis. I mean, come on.
No, his shoes look like he probably got them from his garage.
Yeah. Oh, and this is what's her name from Spider-Man? Laura Harrier.
I recognize her face. Is
Yeah,
she?
no.
like-
She was
the original girlfriend. Yeah,
Homecoming.
Homecoming. She was the original girlfriend before MJ, or almost
Well,
girlfriend.
he was trying to make her his girlfriend. It didn't work out because her
The
dad.
dad,
was,
the dad was yeah.
Yes. Let's
Beautiful.
see. And I'm going to take the banner off because we're not able to see Kenny and Clara. And boop, there we go. Now I'm the only one that's hidden, but that's fine. Up in Rihanna. Oddly enough, very covered up.
Mm.
Barely see anything. There we go. Now of course here we go.
That's pretty awesome.
I loved his outfits, man.
Oh yeah.
3.
Now, here's the thing. I think this is generational because I heard some people saying that this gold armor outfit was based on like an anime character. But for me, this was right out of Excalibur, 1980s Excalibur.
I thought he was C-3PO.
Yeah, people said that as well.
I was going to say the same thing.
I mean, if you read about it, it's a lot more of a personal story kind of than that. But
No,
I like the kind of 3-in-1 and that it's, peeling away the layers and that everybody's showing a face, but this is kind of peeling the onion of a person.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, I like his work.
He's very creative and has never disappointed in regards to being stylish and just provocative. Now this is Haman. I was gonna say that's not my Haman. This is another Haman, and that's a lovely little star dress with clear-toed shoes, pointy. Little disco ball action going on there. This is a Kendall Jenner. There we go. That's nice. Not bad.
Is it just see-through? Yeah.
No, every
Bodysuit underneath.
Yeah.
And do I know her? She looks familiar. Nope, don't know. Is she in the entertainment industry? Is she a model? I don't know, but it looks like a lovely
mystery.
Lovely dress. Oh, and yes, we got our Amanda Gorman.
Yeah.
Yes.
The poet.
Laureate, the poet laureate from the inauguration.
The title of her book there.
Yep.
Interesting.
That's good. That's
Looks like it says "Give us your tired,"
yes.
which is
Ooh,
yeah.
Oh.
I like it.
That is the statement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
I like it.
Yeah. Is that's not? Oh no. Kai Gerber. Do not know her. And I hate to say this, but the older I get, the less people I recognize.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what are that? Is that a singer? What is that? And yeah, I don't know what she does, but that's a basic black dress.
Audrey Hepburn sort of look to her.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the style of her outfit and her hair.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I do like.
Isn't she Captain America's girlfriend? No.
And this is yeah. Oh no. You know who I thought this was?
Renee Russo.
No, million dollar baby. $1 Million Baby.
Eddie, you were thinking the same thing I was thinking. Stop laughing.
No, that's a lovely dress. There's Iman.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. She's making
That is yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is a headdress.
I'm not gonna lie. The first thing I thought when you scrolled to this was Coming to America.
They
Yep,
do
there you go.
very
Yeah.
elaborate outfits in that one.
Now, I don't know who this is, but she reminds me of a very young Christina Ricci.
Yes.
You took words out of my mouth.
Or
Yeah.
Maisie Williams.
Yes,
Aria.
yes.
Well, that's who it is.
Williams.
Look at that. That's right.
Yes, and this is a rapper wearing a beanbag blanket.
I thought you said you're wrapping a wrapper.
Because this is, I'm sure, cozier.
No, that was done. So that was done intentionally, so that while he's sitting with the rest of the people, he just starts taking it apart, and you just start launching it at people.
Is this a binge blanket, Clara? Would this be no?
Barefoot Dreams needs to hook him up, and he can wear Barefoot Dreams blanket next time on the red carpet. It'd be much more cozy.
All right. Now, see, this is I mean, again, this is generational. She is ripping off Twiggy to a T. Back about, maybe 40, 50 years ago, Twiggy was a staple in the fashion industry. The whole Velvet Underground thing.
4 years than that.
Yeah. And Rebecca Hall and Louis Vuitton. That's nice. Actually, I like that. The pattern on the kind of the patent leather, and the pattern picks up, and then there's this. It's interesting. Okay, and I don't know who this is. Again, is she a TikToker? I don't know. Rosalia and Rick Owens. It looks like Rick James, but have at it. And I don't know who these people are. Oh, Sienna Miller. I know the name. I don't know what she. Nope. It's nice. It's fine. Is this Megan Thee Stallion? I don't. No, it's Precious Lee. Yeesh. See, I'm hip. I'm really with it. Precious Lee. She's got a very tight top, and what do they call this in the Victorian era, Logan? With the side out.
I know what you're talking about, but
where it's cinched in the
corset.
Yeah, I guess so. But, I'm thinking about
like a big type of dress that kind of comes out that way, and I can't think of it.
Yeah, it accentuates
the corset's just the bodice.
There we go, Levy. Yes, this is Dan Levy from Schitt's Creek, and he's wearing a dress. It has people.
Oh, I was
going to say, is he wearing an atlas?
Yeah, but it's like an outline of.
There's history to that one too. I know there's very, very specific history to that as to what it is and why he's wearing it.
I'm with it. I think I love cool concepts like that.
Yeah.
Wow, those are some shoes too. Wow, that is elaborate. Okay, who is it? I know who this is, but do you know who it is?
No. And why are they?
I read about this.
Britney Spears.
No, not Britney Spears.
He's ready to fight.
Yes, they brought a sword and a metal mask, and they have a lot of very interestingly placed tattoos. This is Grimes.
That's right. It is.
Yes. Girlfriend to Elon Musk.
Baby mama to Elon Musk.
Oh, there you go. All right. Oh, now this.
And that sword in particular she's holding, I believe she said, was forged from melted down some sort of firearm or something.
Oh, that's nice. So
AR-15 or AK or so. I don't even know what, but melted down firearms. Yeah.
You know what? There's no irony in making one weapon out of a melted down other weapon. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's when artists make statements, they think them all the way through. So, okay, now I don't know who this is. I love the dress, the pattern on it.
The pattern's beautiful.
Yeah. Emma Raducanu. I don't know who this is. Okay. I think this is Lord. I think it is. Ah, look at that. I'm still hip. I'm with it. Yeah, that's an interesting dress. Yeah, there you go. No, I don't know who this is. And I mean, it's an interesting dress. I don't know if I like the tie off on the arm with the belt. That seems a little on the nose.
Is that I'm not even gonna lie. When I first saw that, I thought it was an ankle bracelet, like house arrest.
Yeah. Oh, like a monitor. Yeah. I don't know who this is. I'm sorry. That's not. Yes, here's the infamous Kim Kardashian. I'm so famous, you don't have to see me famous. And this was designed by her estranged husband or ex-husband, Kanye.
Is it X?
Yeah.
I don't
But you know what's funny is a lot of people don't know that Kanye West actually like went to school for fashion.
Yeah.
Like went over to Italy and studied in like Milan or something like that.
He's making a lot of money with his Yeezys and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the eyebrows model who also acts.
Peg the patriarchy. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to go through the explanation, but to show of hands for those that know what that term actually means.
It doesn't mean what you think it means.
Part
of the problem with it.
In this sense,
it's not the there's
It's the
been
Urban Dictionary
controversy
version?
about this one, and that it's not a
the
rear
Urban
end jab.
Dictionary.
It's not a rear end jab,
Yeah. Okay.
from what I understand.
Interesting. Keep going.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we got that. We're almost done. Yes.
Oh,
and this is
Karen
of course-
Telemann.
yes. This is Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's channeling her Marilyn Monroe look. You know, she
I didn't
made
recognize without the green.
Yeah, well, she made a hard left turn. I mean, literally this year, she went from, wearing baggy clothes to cinched corsets and platinum blonde. She's done the whole Britney Spears turn. Brilliant
Sounds
voice.
like somebody had a publicist forced on her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's so much that. I think more like she was tired of being shamed of her body.
Yeah,
But
but
read some interviews of hers.
I remember her saying that. So she starts putting on super tight clothes to compensate for that. It's odd.
That's not, yeah.
Well, I don't know about our other stuff.
But I
No, you got to.
I do
you
have
have-
a problem with
You have to
shaming women in general, like for what they wear.
Yeah, no, 100%. She did a Vanity Fair spread, which is much more Madonna-esque, less Marilyn, more Madonna. This is very conservative compared to what you'll see her in on.
She's embracing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and again, that it was a very abrupt. It was not like, hey, I'm finding myself. It's, hey, look, I'm taking on a completely.
No, that's not true because she's actually been.
It may have seemed abrupt, but that doesn't mean
I
that
was
it was
gonna say,
abrupt
like-
to us. But it might not have been to her.
It was not even abrupt to me because she's literally been talking about these body issues for years.
Yeah, no,
So it's
yeah.
not abrupt.
Well, let me put it this way. She was talking about body issues and why she wore baggy clothes, and then she stopped wearing baggy clothes. She started wearing a corset. So that's the abrupt part.
I don't think it's abrupt. I think it's like.
And I don't think it matters if we think it's abrupt or not. If she's happy with it.
That's right.
Oh yeah, no, and again, two totally different conversations. I'm just saying it was a very abrupt style change. Whatever she's got going on in her head, I'm not talking about that or how she's to be perceived. It's just like if you're a blonde and then all of a sudden you show up as a brunette, that's abrupt to me. That's all I'm saying. Is it's a different look.
They didn't get the other side of AOC's dress.
I'm sure they're going to show it. Yeah.
The tax the rich.
Well, wait, thank you for the spoiler. Yes. No, they don't show it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, on the back it says tax the rich, and it's caused quite the stir.
And it's funny because I'm sorry, I don't mean to yell. I guess I get louder when I talk excitedly. But I think her choice of dress was very interesting considering the event she was attending.
But that's the point. That's the point.
Is it?
That is the point. Yeah. That is the point. First of all,
make everybody look nervous.
No, because it's to say like all of you are here to watch these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these are the rich people that everyone keeps saying to tax. But guess what? You also mean these people. Are these the people you mean too?
Yeah.
Like.
No, I like it.
I think people assume the rich people are just like Bill Gates, but it's these people too. I think that was her point.
Yeah.
And and she did not pay to go to the gala. She was, basically, I show up in a dress, and then they put the dress in the museum, and that's, donated. So it was definitely a jab at the society.
Yeah, is that Beebs?
That is Beebs. Yeah, I'm worried about him. He looks he's not putting on weight. He needs to eat a little something. And this is his model wife, I guess. I guess they're married. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're married.
Yeah.
That's isn't it Alec Baldwin's niece?
Yeah.
Haley Baldwin was her maiden name.
Yep.
There you go. And here we go, Lady Diana.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I don't know. And again, this is horrible, but she always has the expression like she just smelled an unpleasant odor. To be kind, kind of what a. Yeah. Again, not in a disparaging way. Just it just cracks me up whenever I see her expressions. So there we go. And here's Pete Davidson. Look at him, famous for being famous. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is talented. A rapper and Saturday Night alum, but. He's taking it and run with it. Good for him.
Yep.
And yes, Naomi Osaka, embracing the full Japanese heritage. With like kind of a futuristic kind of a geisha look.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. I don't know her. Michelle Cole?
I think it's Michaela.
Michaela Cole. Okay. And I mean,
Nice.
very
I
nice.
like it.
Yeah,
do like
it looks like a superhero. There you go.
Totally.
That is that? No. Okay, no, I was gonna say that. But yeah, no, this is a really nice one. Very nice.
Yeah.
Erica Badu. I always recognize her by the nose and eyes. Yep. And she has got an outfit. And it's like a dachshund bag, which is very interesting.
Mm.
And all this.
It is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And
Is there like a dachshund in there?
Yes. Yes, she's carrying her dachshund.
Yep.
That is
I hope
interesting.
it has holes.
Yes, in the front and the back. There you go. And this is the actress that I love,
Carrie
McGullen from Drive. Mulligan from Drive. She's from Drive, and she was also in Great Gatsby. Great actress.
She's been on a number of things.
She was also in Shame, which I loved her in. And I don't know who this is. Okay. Well, does anybody know her?
Nope.
No.
But
All right,
another
well,
red one. It seems like it's white, black, or red is where you're at.
yeah, some primary colors. All right. So there we go. That is our quick rundown of all the wonderful images at the Met Gala 21. Sorry, we didn't get to see the back end of AOC. But I'm sure you can find that online because a few people are talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, just a few. Okay, moving along because again, we've eaten so much time, we've had so much fun. Let us talk about what I have enjoyed recently. Literally minutes before this show, I finished watching another show. I have started to watch the Downton Abbey series per Clara's recommendation, and of course, Ramon he's already deep into it. He took it and ran with it like earlier in the week and started binging it. I just
where are you at now?
I am finishing the last episode of season 3, so I'm moving into season 4.
You have been binging.
Yes, he's on brand. Now, if okay, I would like to just talk about the first episode because obviously I can't contribute to the other ones. I don't want to just spoil it from the reaction, but right out of the gate, I love this. And I will say that I was not expecting to love it as much. I knew it was going to be well acted, great set design, great
Did
costumes.
I hear what I thought I heard?
I never said I wouldn't. I just said I needed to get around to it.
You were resistant.
Yes. But not a resistance because I didn't like the subject matter, a resistance because I don't have time. So it was a sacrifice to watch it. But I'm glad I did, and I'm glad you recommended it. I did like several things that I picked up quickly. Was definitely Tale of Two Cities, kind of a theme where you have the obviously the lords and the ladies and the upper echelon, and then the servants. Mm-hmm. And I remember there's one scene I saw in this first episode where Lady Mary it sneaks off with the Duke in the servants' quarters, and of course it's revealed why they went there later on, which I love. And anybody who's watching the watch party that I did, and I'm doing a commentary through the entire thing, you'll see me freak out when I knew that, when he said, have Matthew sent up to my room, I was like, okay, so that's why he's not going to marry her, because, he's on a different team. And when, what's that? Oh, Thomas. I'm sorry, not Matthew, Thomas. Yes. And
did you look at the chart I sent you?
No. No, I didn't. I didn't have time, and it wouldn't have meant anything to me. It wouldn't have meant anything to me because I literally just saw it. I mean, I just saw the first episode.
You got to print it out, have it next to you while you binge.
Oh, gee, I gotta draw a diagram. Like
it took me a while to stop calling Maggie Smith Professor McGonagall.
I love Maggie Smith. And yeah, when I started seeing like these cameos of people that I knew, not cameos, but actors I knew, like Charlie Cox as the Duke, and what's her name from Game of Thrones, the redhead one. You know nothing, Jon Snow, and that whole. But what was really savage is when the head the lady. What's her name? Who's in charge of the kitchen? And what's her name?
Miss Patmore. Yeah,
Miss Patmore.
Hughes. Miss Hughes.
Miss Hughes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not she's in charge of like the housekeepers and them.
Well, Miss Hughes is trash water. I can't stand her. What she did to Oh
no, you're talking about Miss O'Brien.
Is that Miss? No, I think it's Miss Hughes.
No, the one that picked the one that kicked Bates's cane? That's Mrs. O'Brien.
Yeah, that's O'Brien. She is the the servant.
She's lady's maid, right?
Lady's maid. Thank you. That's what
she's lady's maid to Cora.
Yes.
Well, if you want to see Savage.
Oh yeah.
I mean, first of all, they were conspiring against him because Thomas, right? And again, I'm still learning the names.
Yeah.
Thomas wanted to be the valet. He was or valet is they say over there. Come on, being all fancy. So instead of letting natural things take its place, and forgive me, what's the guy's name? The Lord of the Manor.
Robert Crawley.
Yeah. Robert Crawley, had hired a valet, but it was literally a man he served with. So he was just trying to give him a job.
In a war with, not time in prison.
He served. I'm sorry. Yeah, he served. They served together in the service. And
actually, I think so in the service, the nobles also have a sort of like a man's footman or.
He was his servant in the military. Was that?
Yes, I think so.
I don't think
so. The same way that Matthew, when he was in the war, had his own servant.
Okay, maybe.
Well,
I didn't think it that way.
Either way, the point is that they were in the war together.
Yep.
So they had a prior existing relationship, and so he wanted to bring him into the manor to work for him, but he had an old injury that was acting up, so he had a cane and he wasn't as steady on his feet. And they were like, all these servants were like, oh, this guy can't even carry a tray. What's he going to lift? It was just so savage. And then when the Duke shows up, he's going out to stand and the Lord is like, you don't have to come out. He goes, no, I want to. he goes out there and he's standing and he's leaning with his cane, and what's your name, O'Brien? Kicks the cane out from under him, so he does a face plant right in front of the Duke to embarrass him. And when I saw that, I was like, you gotta be effing kidding me. That's the most
it's savage.
Mhm.
Exactly. That's what you would expect.
So good.
Yeah.
And that's episode 1.
Yep.
That is
There's
episode
more.
1. Yes, and of course, the whole thing is, because there a couple of the heirs were lost on the sinking of the Titanic, so now the estate is up in jeopardy because the Lord does not have direct heirs, and it's really and again, I'm still getting up to speed on a lot of the names and things like that, but it was just done so well, and well paced, and good score, everything I liked about it. So now I see what the time is, but now I have a dilemma because I got to watch this whole thing, all 6 seasons. And if they were half an hour, that'd be better. You know what? I'll see. I'm doing watch parties because if it was on YouTube, I'd watch it like at a sped up speed. Yeah.
But if you want to see something that well, I thought it was impressive. There's a lot of behind the scenes things that they've done to show like what goes on to actually make the show happen.
You got to watch the show all the way through first.
No. What I mean is I'm talking about how. So all the folks that are all the actors and actresses that are playing like the servants like had to learn, how to act and appear as servants, but everything you see them do, they are doing. So they had to learn.
There's no serving trays done.
No. What I mean is like when they're measuring how
the distance between spoons and forks,
between the spoons and the plateware and stuff, like they're all actually doing that, to maintain the realism.
This is why I say they need to watch the show first, because now not that that's really a plot thing that you're giving away, but in those
that level of detail.
Yes, you're
No, and going to finishing servant school or whatever that would be, or having some like an official butler show them. But
it makes it authentic, right? And it I think it adds a layer to their roles for them to truly understand what those people would have actually done.
And it was a machine. It was almost like watching a submarine, where everybody's kind of tight quarters, but they know their role, and they're walking past each other doing their. I really appreciated it. The dedication to detail, and I'm looking forward to catching up to Ramon and seeing if that will be a my new favorite series. It's good. I would say
look, the weekend's coming up. Go watch it on your big tube TV in the basement in standard def.
I'll drink some of that Earl
Grey tea.
Earl Grey, yep.
My name is Earl Grey tea. Is that what it's called?
I tell you, it was truly surprising how much I enjoyed the show. Like I did not think I was going to enjoy it. I had no interest in watching it. But I will tell you, after watching it, and then I went back and watched. I was just watching through all of the Marvel movies, the MCU, and seeing the Downton Abbey scene in.
Does everything have to be about comic book movies?
Yes, in Iron Man 3 when Happy's in the hospital. I was like, I know that scene. It's like so. But no, I did. I really enjoyed the show. And some of the best characters are folks that that I was surprised by, who ended up having some of the best
part of what's so great about
arcs.
Part of what's so great about the show is the character growth and the character arc. So a character that you may have loved in season 1 or hated in season 1, by the end of the show, you might feel completely differently about them.
I already, and again, Logan knows I'm a script doctor, non-certified, and I think that
non-certified,
certifiably uncertified. I think that Mary is starting off as this money-grubbing, power sociopath that will grow into a better person after getting knocked down the rungs a little bit. That's what I see happening for her. I think that it will never be a good state of affairs for Thomas because he is just a snake.
Oh, I like this early predictions. Okay, yeah, okay.
And he'll get his comeuppance. He may show a little bit of I hope they don't show that he has like some trauma that causes him to be a royal jerk, but and then he maybe shows some vulnerability. Maybe that'll happen. That'll be a good twist. I think the Lord, and again I forget his name. Yes, I think he'll be a rock. He'll have some sad moments where he has to deal with something, and then he'll rally because that's what he does. Because he's a proper British man. Okay. And I think his wife that he only fell in love with a year after they got married. And again, I remember when I first saw her in Ragtime, way back in the day. She was in Ragtime, and then I also remember seeing her and she's having a baby, and that was a Kevin Bacon. There you go. And
so what do you think happened to her?
What's that?
What do you think is going to be her character arc?
I'm not a fan of hers only because she was so condescending to the Unvalid, and she was just being really, kind of a, just uncaring and but I don't know. I don't know her enough yet to see any storyline for her. So, but yeah, those are Julian's first predictions. Based off no insight whatsoever.
As you get more insight about different characters in your next few episodes, I'd be interested to hear what you think is going to happen.
Well, you can watch. Everybody can watch the show because I'm literally doing a watch.
I tried to watch Unseener with you tonight, but baby.
What? Oh, but you were on there. Yeah, I saw you. Yeah, in the chat
on Facebook, but I couldn't tell what you were watching, what part you were in, so I couldn't exactly chat back. So then I tried to do Seener with Netflix here in the living room, but then the baby was crying, so I had to go upstairs.
Yeah, because I saw you jump on Seener, and I was like, yes, that's what it's all about. So and again, don't forget everybody. We're doing these live watch parties on Seener, so you need to get that extension and add it to your Chrome browser. 100% free. The only thing you need is to have your own account so we can sync up on whether it's Netflix or Amazon or Hulu or what have you. So get on that because we're having a whole bunch of fun watching Downton Abbey.
Yep. So, Ramon, are you guys going to finish it? Is that the plan to keep going until you're finished with the series?
I've started now. I've gone so far to go back. Yes. Both
of you? Mm-hmm. So only hold out.
Yeah.
I have a prediction that by the end of next week, I'm pretty much going to finish off the all 6 seasons.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, time. Depending on time, but I think I that's my mission right now. My mission is to finish Downton Abbey.
Do you have
I'm spreading the word. I'm telling my friends. I'm telling my family. I basically tell them, what? It's like Dallas, only different.
Hey, you know what? That is an excellent comparison. It's like Dallas, but different. There you go.
But better, I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's the biggest thing about it. So I dreaded getting into it just because I was going like, how long can they sustain a storyline with the upper echelon and the servants and all that stuff, but they never fail. They just draw me to the next scene, and I'm just like,
Well, they did 2 seasons, 2 movies, so yeah.
So
again, I think this is going to be a great addition to our library of content, which is growing ever so fast. We just broke 100 videos on our YouTube channel. So, yay. Woo! Yes, it's emotional. But great stuff. And yes, again, Clara, thank you so much. Hopefully you can join us on some of the other watch parties for Downton Abbey because, your insights would be invaluable. And just, first of all, saying, ooh, watch this guy, or, oh, she's no good, or,
Ooh, I got to keep my mouth shut on a lot of it, though.
Yeah, you can't spoil it, but
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough not to spoil it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Julian, here's a little motivation for you. So for every 3 days, I'm going to put out a spoiler alert. So you got to make sure that you're at that point of the series. Otherwise, it's going to be a spoiler alert.
See,
So.
I would want to, and here's the thing is I don't even think I can actually binge it in the conventional sense, because if we're doing these watch parties, I can't do, a binge watch party of 3 in one day. I mean, I probably could, but
You can.
Yeah, we'll
Trust
see.
me.
Let me just get my coffee.
If you get into the later episodes, you're 7 episodes not going to be enough.
I probably could have done 2 today if we weren't doing this show, but now it's again great show, and now I got to relegate 60 hours of my life to this, or however many. How many episodes per season? How many episodes
10,
per season?
10 episodes per season.
Okay, and there's 6 seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
No, season 3, 7.
One more coming out.
Well,
6 seasons and 2 movies, right?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So 64 hours of my life.
64 well-spent hours of your life.
It will be worth it.
What
Yes.
do I achieve after this? When you saying worth,
You will know. Okay, I'll tell you right now what you're going to achieve. You will know a soup spoon from a melon spoon from a what was it? A bouillon spoon. I didn't even know that bouillon spoon existed.
Yeah.
Really?
You actually do learn some things out of it. I'll be honest. Like there are some
bouillon
things from the show.
bouillon spoon. That does sound interesting.
So the difference between a bouillon spoon and a soup spoon is that the bouillon is in a smaller bowl.
He's not lying.
Yep.
Yeah, and for more tips on etiquette, go to hey, you still have your YouTube channel?
Oh yes, but you know what? I'm changing the theme from superheroes to like servants and
Yeah, exactly. So you can literally just do characters of different servers.
Yeah, I got to brush up on my English accent, but
there you go. No,
Again, doing a British accent. That's worth watching.
well, yeah. I mean, I do a heck of a British accent when it comes to the Emperor, Star Wars Emperor, but
oh yeah, Moff Gideon Tarkin something.
no, I was trying to do Palpatine. Only my character in my channel is Lord Tetanus.
Lord Tetanus? Is that a real name?
It's not a real character, but that's I can't use Palpatine. I mean, that's copyrighted.
Lord Tetanus, though. I like that.
And you can't. I was gonna say you could go with Senator Ovaltine, but
Senator Ovaltine. That is good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that. Do you mind if I use it?
Or maybe Senator
Write it down.
or Senator Palpitations or something,
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow! What? Kitty's on fire! Look at that. Yes. Lord
Well, I'm
Pepper.
excited that there's new Downton fans. Yay!
I am officially a fan now. It's just about the logistics of setting aside time to watch all these
Gotta make
flipping
it
episodes.
Prioritize.
Yes, prioritize. Binge first, live later. That'll be on the new merchandise coming out.
Yep.
So, all right.
Can't wait to get that in a mug.
Yes. And again, we will be opening up our Binge Theory store soon. Just setting up the website, making sure that it's the highest quality for you, the viewers at home, so you can enjoy your shopping experience and get mugs and shirts and hats and maybe a water bottle, not a tumbler, a water bottle, and not blankets, but maybe towels,
Snuggies?
pillows. There you go, and socks.
Spoons.
And
Spoons.
No, there's
Soup
no.
spoons and bouillon spoons.
There's no bouillon spoons. No, I'm sorry. But
Maybe
again,
Julian spoons.
Binge Theory
Julian.
dinnerware set. 4-piece or 8-piece.
Sterling silver.
But yeah, so we're going to be bringing new stuff to you. And again, we're cranking out content like Lucy and the Chocolate Factory. It is ridiculous. We're having at least one post a day, probably sometimes more than that. And we're doing the weekly show. And again, guys, you're killing it with the content, and these topics are awesome. So thank you so much for bringing your A game to the show. I really appreciate it. And does anybody have anything else before we wrap this up? Because this has been a 2-hour show. It was supposed to be 1 hour, and then something went horribly wrong, and now it turned out to be
right.
Yeah, you know what?
Something happens horribly wrong pretty much every episode.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
We've got to knock it down to 4 topics, and then maybe we'll only go an hour and a half next time.
Or yes.
With him.
Yeah, 100% right. We made that left turn at Albuquerque, and next thing you know, we're in the next day because it's less. Yeah,
Just,
but
5 more minutes, just about.
yes.
Yeah.
But guys, unless you have anything left, we can go ahead and wrap it up. We're good. We're good. Again, thank you again for making this another special episode. Want to thank everybody out there. Don't forget, we have social platforms all over the internet: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, obviously YouTube. Like I said, add the extension Scener to your Chrome app so you can watch along with us live time. We also have a TikTok. So, and again, Ramon's going to be out there dancing. He's going to be shaking it to Nicki Minaj, and that's a whole nother conversation. But again, want to thank you so much. Want you to take care of each other and yourselves. And as always, if it's worthwhile, it is worth binging.